Mute. All right, we'll see. We'll see if I pop up. In the meantime, hi there and hello. It is, what is it, a Monday? Yes, it is, Monday evening. The month of Cheshvan, autumn, that whole thing. And I'm happy to be here, happy to be doing this with the holidays and whatnot. It's been erratic. All in a good way, I suppose. And now, let's hope that everything's working here. I know I'm live on mobile, but am I live on the website? Not sure, not sure. Also, so hello, people watching now, people watching later. This time, wait, chat disconnected. Something happened. The internet connection, once again, is not great on the laptop here. It's an ancient laptop. Let's hope I can make this work. That's all good. If not, then another time, right? Internet trouble. So as I was saying, this time I didn't make a short today, and I didn't actually, you know what? No, never mind. I didn't schedule the live stream. So hang on, the internet connection is off, but I'm going to assume that I'm live. Hello, but nobody's there right now, see, because I didn't schedule it in advance. That's what I get for just hitting go live. But I have no doubt that things will happen and people will show up. But let's see, I'm gonna keep going anyway, because I don't know what's going on here. The internet connection is cutting in and out with the laptop, but looks like mobile is okay. All right. So let's just see here. King of the Earth. So I'm continuing the chat from Monday. King of the Earth said, according to, that is last Monday, according to the ancient Hebrews, all converts must be called Samaritans, unless they have an adopted by the king of one of the 13 of Jacob, meaning the Ashkenazi cannot be Jews, but they can be Samaritan. I'm not sure why all converts must be called Samaritan. If you're talking about the ancient Hebrews, then it would be a question of which tribe are you affiliated with. Now by default, it's Yehuda, right? Judea, Judah, we are Jews. Even those of Benjamin and of Levi, under the banner of the kingdom of Judah, are called Jews. So the Samaritans were others, right? Were in the beginning foreigners imported by the Assyrian king, if I'm not mistaken, Shalmaneser. But, oh, okay, hey, Bloodnose, I'm not a convert. Can I still be a good Samaritan? Well, I'm inclined to say yes, you know, the New Testament aside. So, I guess you can still be a good Samaritan, sure, as the phrase is. Sneezer said there's only one reason, and that is baptism by the Holy Spirit. So I was continuing something I'm picking up from last Monday's chat at the 42nd minute here. Adoption is a pure form of inheriting, said Sneezer. So, now King of the Earth, I wasn't sure if he was trolling, I wasn't sure if he wasn't, it seemed that he was kind of 50-50. Trump, said Robert Harrison. No, it's Duffman. Love from India, said Ismail Khan. Indeed, love back at you. What's up, brother? Hello, Robert Harrison, and hello, Bloodnose. It's good to see you, and maybe someone else, or is this just, never mind. Wait, hang on. I'm reading it over here on the mobile, but on the phone, but here we go. And now I can mute this. Good, and we keep going. And hopefully I can see the chat over there as well. Yes, I can, okay. I choose neither choice, says Bloodnose. Yo, BMXers is here. Hello, BMXers with dreadlocks. Armel Zenur. Armael, or is it Armael? Which one is it? Is it a swished A-E sound, A, or is it A-E? Which is it? I just saw the mango, says BMXers with dreadlocks. What mango, pray tell, was this? Mango, capital T, capital M. I don't know what you're referring to. Enlighten me, please. So as for choosing neither... Oh, the mango. I'm sorry, the Seinfeld episode, The Mango. Which one? No, I'm thinking of the Kramer had the bit with the Mackinac peaches. The mango, is it the mango where him and Elaine eventually sleep together at the end? Where he's impotent and then he eats the mango? Is that it? I think that's it. I love Elaine. Yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, what a character. It's like I can't, she has such great mannerisms and such good lines. That show was very well written. BMXers, I don't remember which season the mango appears in. Which season? Are you doing it linearly? Or are you simply going here and there, picking, cherry picking? Yep, that's it. Yeah, okay, good. I still know my Seinfeld. So, right, Blood Nose. I choose neither choice. So, Blood Nose, are you abstaining from voting, or are you simply voting for one of the non-major, right, Republican, Democrat parties? Are you going for one of the smaller parties? I think I've seen, I don't vote in the States, but I think I've seen on the ballot, I saw Republican and Democrat and a few others, Libertarian and a few others over there. Season 5, Episode 1, he says. Okay, cool, 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 cool. And are you doing it linearly? I'd love to know. So, okay, I'm going to read a couple of questions or comments continuing from last Monday. Okay, let's see. So, Sneezer and King of the Earth were going back and forth, and like I said, I'm not 100% sure on whether or not he was just trolling or whether he actually had something to say. I mean, he's a Christian, obviously, or at least that's what is expressed in his texts. India always support Palestine, Ismail Khan says. Yes, I agree. We all support getting rid of Hamas. We all support, well, a lot of us support getting rid of the terror. Freedom from Hamas, freedom from the Fatah, freedom from terrorism. Let the people of Gaza and Judea and Samaria blossom and thrive and flourish without the threat of terrorism inside or out. Ay, ay, ay. BMXers, me too, said KJB. I'm fed up with all the BS and religion, the corruption and fighting, all at each other's throats like wolves. I know what you mean. And to some degree, that's also because I've witnessed such things. Is also why I took a step away from halacha and from Orthodox Judaism. Took a bit of a sidestep and, lateral and a bit back. It's difficult. It's very difficult because religion has such a lovely origin in spirituality and in connection with the divine and knowing the Most High, right, through his attributes. And then the organized religion part, when it comes down here to the earth, and when those 4 cubits of halacha, ay, ay, ay. There is a lot of BS in any organized religion, I dare say. And maybe not in the religious part, but in the organized part. Let's put it that way. And yeah, so much fighting, so much corruption. I agree. Like wolves at each other's throats. And yet, it's something which we seem to have a natural inclination for as human beings. Jacob the Jew said, Kingdom of Earth is nuts. Right, okay, well, that's pretty much saying what I was saying, not that he's nuts, but that I wasn't sure, I was kind of on the fence on whether or not he was actually, well, Jacob the Jew has said his piece. Royalty says, what are the 7 deadly sins? What Bible, the Holy Book, talk about equality between humans? I think the 7 deadly sins are a Christian thing, and they are, let's see if I know them offhand. Pride, greed, sloth, lust, gluttony, rage, anger, or wrath, rather. And what is? Let me think back to the movie 7. I said pride, envy. So yeah, those are the 7 deadly sins, royalty. Now I don't know, because I'm not a follower of Jesus or the New Testament, I don't know what they mean in the context of 7 deadly sins. I know that there are 3 sins, let's say, in the Hebrew faith, traditionally, you should go and die rather than make transgress, which is foreign worship, idol worship, and incestual relations, and murder. Avodah zarah, gilui arayot, shfichut damim. Those 3 sins are yaharegu val ya'avor, again, according to modern day halacha, according to Orthodox, right? According to still Orthodox halacha. Let's go back to the chat here. Today. Hello, Narcissus. Hello. What is Elohim to you? I don't know Elohim, Narcissus. I don't know God. All I know is how God reveals himself to me, right? Through the world, through creation. So I can't say what Elohim is to me. Elohim is a name that we attribute to the Most High. Traditionally, it's more associated with vengeance, with wrath, with anger. The left hand, the hand that pushes away. And Elohim is plural. The Hebrew God is one, which means that Elohim in and of itself already signifies a duality. And the Most High God, according to our tradition, is one, unique, and single. BMXer says, you know Abid from Community. No, I watched Community. I think I watched the first season. Did we watch Community? The first season? A few episodes. We just didn't dig it, and we didn't give it enough time to get into it. But it didn't vibe with me. So I don't know Abed from Community, not offhand, not as a character nor as an actor. Robert Harrison says, I could be wrong, but I'm starting to think we should let HN bring up Christianity organically. But I could be wrong. Someone could have a revelation that need to be talked. So what do you mean by that, Robert? Envy. Yes. Hey, still me. Hi, still me. Good to see you, man. So narcissistic Jesus, what is Elohim to you? And, well, how do you, the narcissistic Jesus thing? I'd love to know more about the username. If it actually means anything to you, I'd love to know more about it. Bloodnose says, I agree, Robert Harrison, but I can listen to Christians anywhere. It's amazing to talk live with an actual Hebrew Nazarite living life in the Holy Land. And you know me, I'm just a simple dumbass in the Middle East. But this is precisely why I started this YouTube channel, some years ago, where I saw that, hey, there is no Hebrew Nazarite in the Holy Land who is on YouTube. And so let's get that niche cracked open. Alien Marshall says, hello. Hi, guys. Hello, hello, indeed. Robert says, I know, Bloodnose. Me too. And it is fun to talk about Yeshua Christianity with actual Levite Hebrew Nazarite to get take. My point, I agree. Wait a minute. Well, you know what? As always, if I provide even a bit of entertainment or value or something, or any Hebrew lore from days of yore at some point during my rants, my ramblings, my raves, my weird noises coming out of my mouth hole, then cool. I also saw Batman Returns today. The one where the bad guys who pretend not to be a bad guy wears a hat, headdressing, with an all-seeing eye on it. Pyramid. These Illuminati symbols are all over. Batman Returns? What is that? Wait. So there's Batman... Oh, wait. Batman Returns is... Wait. Returns? Is that the one that came after Batman and before Batman Forever? Wait. Batman Returns is the Penguin. Is it the Penguin? Enlighten me, people. Is it Danny DeVito? Danny DeVito as Oswald Copperpot, right? Is that him? Loved the series Gotham. So TV series, TV movie. Well, it's not a series. Then it wouldn't be a movie. Then it wouldn't be a series. The series Gotham. I don't think I've seen it. I saw some of Batman the Animated Series back in the 90s or late 80s. No, likely early 90s. But I don't know about the series. I don't know of the series Gotham. Just a fun fact: HN is a Kehat Levite. Again, according to my family's tradition, does not make it so. I could be not from Levi at all. I'll be happy just being a regular run-of-the-mill dude from Judah. Alone holds a lot of weight for me on his opinion. Well, I don't think it should, because even though it's a fun fact, and a fact that probably could be disputed in 1,000 ways, even though it's a fun, let's say, tradition in my family, and to have so many colorful and lovely individuals in my lineage, presumably, it's, oh, wait, the internet's cutting in and out here. I hope I'll be able to see the, wait, the chat was disconnected. Okay, I stopped. Okay, but definitely I don't store too much by it. I simply see it as, okay, it's a possibility, could be, I will try and live up to it, however much I can in my faulty state here, but it is lovely, and if it is indeed true, I am humbled and privileged and honored to be attributed to such a family and such a tribe. But all the tribes of Israel, right? Humanity is the image of God. That's what we are all striving to be, right? We're made in the image of God. Let's live up to that. And the tribal and familial affiliation, nice though it may be, does not necessarily a good opinion maker make. So I don't think it should hold a lot of weight. But that's just me. Batman Returns was made in 1992, so yes, it's the Penguin, that one. Seek Truth, Shalom Seek Truth, good to see you. Now, there probably was more to the chat right now, but I need to let it reload, so I'm going to go back to Monday's chat, which is still here. We're not fighting, said Sneezer at the time. HN, though, is getting a little passionate. Seek Truth said, so much wisdom and knowledge was lost in the conversion from Hebrew to the English. Hebrew is a much richer language. Yeah, I mean, I'm biased, obviously, but there's nothing quite like reading it in Hebrew. Even though I used to love that the King James version, and then when I found the JPS Tanakh, I went with that. I love the poetic language, the ye old-timey language. There's a loveliness to it. Truly, there is. So yes, I also agree, wisdom and knowledge was lost, but the fundamentals are still there. The fundamental tenets of what it means to be a Hebrew man or woman are there, to be derived from the Torah in any language. And the inference can already be in the language of your mind and your understanding. The way it gets to you does matter. The translation does matter. And everything that it entails does matter. But again, a lot of the fundamentals can be learned, I think, also from the plain language which you speak or read or write in. Just like prayer, even though the Hebrew prayers have a lot and hold a lot of weight, to simply speak out to God in a spontaneous dialogue in your mother tongue, nothing can beat that. Nothing can beat that ever. No written prayer, no meditation, no mantra, no Kabbalist has ever gotten close to your unique, specific, individual image of God prayer.
Is it under your email?
Okay, let's continue. I remind you, said King of the Earth, of the promise made to Jesse, Yishai, right? That the line of David would endure forever and would never be broken. So I'm not sure what King of Earth was talking about at the time. I'm not sure if he was talking to Sneezer, or to me. But as for the line of David that would never be broken, it's said that yes, other messiahs may come and go, but there will eventually rise up a root from Yishai, and the fruit of that root would be leading us back to the tree of life. Oh yes, the accusation of blasphemy tends to do that, said Sneezer. So he was going back and forth with King of the Earth at the time. Let's go back to today's chat. Is it loading? Is it not loading? I don't have an internet connection here. Come on, I need an internet connection. Okay, let's go over here to the mobile phone. I said cool. Yes, I'm with Jake from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yes, best Batman content I have seen in my opinion. Voila, that's saying a lot. There's so much Batman, but that's cool. So what's the genre? I'm guessing it's not animated. Is it nitty-gritty Gotham? Seek Truth says, late today, voted for Trump for U.S. president. Well, good for you people over there. I hope that you... Wait, hang on a second. Come on, connect. Ah, it's back. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Let's continue here on the mobile until... I know Yeshua said we shouldn't take one yod away from Scripture. Do you play soccer, HN? I play with my kids. Never played professionally, but I play with my kids, and I enjoy getting in on a game every now and then. And when I was a lad, I loved playing soccer, and I still like watching soccer. And I will watch a game here and there during the UEFA Cup, right? The Europe Cup and the World Cup, or the South American Copa America. If there's a game, and I have the time, I'll sit and watch it, and I like watching it live. I like watching a live game more than a taped game. I haven't done so probably since the World Cup. So, okay, let's see. May your choice win, says Bloodnose. Well, people, let's hear it. People from America, people who are not from America. Predictions. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna take it? Not that I want to take this into a political thing. Robert says, do you guys think the US election will be close or runaway? I think it will be close. I think it will be close. But I have no idea. Let's continue with Monday's chat. What is Hebrew? Asked royalty. So I have a video on that, one of the earlier ones from like, what, 6 years ago. In the old channel. So right, Hebrew, as far as I'm concerned, it goes back for me in my what I associate, right? Other than language, people, in more of a, well, a term. It's I'm on one bank of the river, and the entire world is on the other, right? Is on the other bank. Avram ha'ivri, Abram the Hebrew, before he is named Avraham. When that connection between him and the Most High is at the beginning, as far biblically speaking, more at the beginning. And he's called Avram Ha'ivri. Now, he comes from the line of Ever, the great-grandson of Noah, right, if I'm not mistaken? I think. And regardless, it's that idea of he believed in one God. Right? He knew the one Hebrew God, it was revealed to him, and he was going all in on that. That's to be a Hebrew in the sense of me on one side, and it's me against the world, in that sense. Something very unique. It's a covenant that's very special. So, okay, and we have the language, we have the Hebrew people, the 12 tribes of Israel. But generally speaking, mentally, it's that idea of I'm over here and everybody else is over there, and I'm here doing my thing, living my life. There is no other me. I'm the only one that is me. As Eminem said, right? It might just be the next best thing, but not quite me. So that would be the root of Hebrew. And then I think come the rest. The Hebrew people, the Hebrew language, the Hebrew land, if you will. Let's go back to today's chat. Robert says, so BMXers said, BMXers says, I really wished you read this out loud, but it's amazing to me that most of the same actors came together after almost 36 years and they still look the same, he says, barely a year older because Hollywood actors. Are you a Nazarite? Asks Timothy Levine. Yes, I am, a Nazir Shimshon. Good to meet you, Timothy. Where are you at? How's your day going? Sei gesund, whatever you're doing. Thank you. And to you. You do not support an English team, right? I don't support any team actively, but I used to be a fan of Beitar Yerushalayim, Beitar Jerusalem football club, and I'll still watch one of their games. And from what I've gathered from just a quick thing, they're at the top of the league right now. Anyone seen Seinfeld's new movie about Kellogg? No. What do you mean, Seinfeld's new movie? Do you mean, I know you probably mean it without the K, but do you mean Jerry Seinfeld has a new movie about Robert Kellogg? Is that him? Or is it a completely different thing? I met a man with dreadlocks below his knees the other week, says Ariel Marshall, wondering what a Nazarite should do if there was the risk of treading on his hair. I suppose you would wear it up, because then it becomes a nuisance and it becomes a danger. You step on your hair, you fall into traffic, you're dead. So I would wear it up, wrap it in a bun, do whatever you got to do. Natural dreads like me, below his knees. Cool, that's some good genes, man, I'll tell you. I'm curious, can you age, what age do you think he was? Congrats to them for their current league position. I suggest Spurs. So that sounds familiar. Is it Tottenham? Who are the Spurs? Not Sheffield? Who are the Spurs? I knew at one point 30 years ago. The Spurs. All right. They actually, says Robert, have American football in Israel. Seinfeld did a movie about breakfast. Oh, okay. So about breakfast cereals. That's up his alley. Not, I was thinking, what? Did he play Dr. Kellogg? Yes, they do have American football in Israel. They have a league. They have a rugby league. You have a niche, right? Because Israel is a melting pot of so many people from different countries, and so BMXers with Dreadlocks says Ja Caustics featuring Ras Muhammad and Toke, Thin Red Line. Wish I could quote Ras Muhammad rapping his reggae in Indonesian here. Reminds me of that dubstep song Damian Marley did with Skrillex. I don't know that dubstep thing that Damian Marley did with Skrillex. But I know that Skrillex was big. I mean, he might be big still. He became a big thing back when I was working at the record store. And, CDs, DVDs, records. And people went nuts for that. And I listened to some of his stuff. Never a full album, back cover to cover, right, start to finish. But nor have I ever listened to an entire Damian Marley album, for that matter. Maybe which one? Oh, maybe I did one. All right, let's see. He was quite young, says Ariel Marshall. He was quite young, probably in his 20s, I reckon. Oh, he was young, so it may be from infancy, Spurs are your first guess, Tottenham Hotspur? Cool. Jacoustics like acoustics. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Jacoustics, I see. Robert Harrison says, hey, one question. Do you know how the rocker Sean Hurwitz votes? I don't know how he votes, but I think that if on the fence, he would lean towards the candidate that is better for the Jewish people and Israel. But I have no idea. He might be very left-leaning. He doesn't strike me as very right-leaning, but I have no idea. I'm assuming, because he's a level-headed individual with an amazing head on his shoulders, that he is neither, and more like me, has an opinion if given a set of circumstances and a situation, what do you think about this? And not like an absolute, X, Y, Z, the party. I'm assuming he's more like that. But I don't know if that would make him leaning towards one or the other. No, I don't know. Rasta reggae singers like stage names like that, and like Irie, Soulja. Yeah, well, sure, because it ties them into the milieu, right, of reggae and the origins, and of good vibes. So yeah, it makes sense. Continuing with the chat from Monday. What is your religion then? Asked royalty. So I don't consider myself religious, but it is Judaism. I am a Hebrew man, and this is the current state of where it is. And I'm a brother to the Samaritans and the Karaites and the Essenes and all the other Jewish, all the other Jews. Before I am a brother to humanity as a family, if you will, it's first, the Jews. Let the Torah be a light for your feet. Yes, that's right, seek truth. That's what he said. Let the Torah be a light for your feet. Quoting or paraphrasing. No, maybe not quoting, but paraphrasing the line from Proverbs. Let's continue in the chat from Monday. Wait. It skipped a bit. Uh-oh. Where did I go? Oh, okay, here it is. And so he says, King of the Earth said, remember the royal families have been very peculiar as to their descendants, and the Roman Catholic Church has been very peculiar on birth, death, and marriage. Very particular, not peculiar, very particular, he said, on birth, death, and marriage records. Well, it's news to me that the Catholic Church is so particular. And I'm curious. I never knew that. It makes sense, though. They want to keep things in the tribe, right, in the church. So royal families have been very particular, and this is why you're saying the Roman Catholics have been also very particular. Okay. But I'm wondering if you were... Okay, I see. I'm sorry. You said at the time, if I'm not mistaken, King of the Earth, he said back last Monday, back then, that he was descendant from certain kings. So I'm assuming that he's Roman Catholic, or he's just trolling once again. Wait, hold on a second. This is from Monday. But, okay, I'm not sure what I'm reading now. I think I read something now in this live chat over here on the chat from last week. Okay, I'm not sure if I read this or didn't read it or whatever. The other BMXers said the other Illuminati members drink young people's blood because it's scientifically proven it keeps you young. Okay, Hollywood actors and Illuminatis, he says, drink people's blood. Edit, he says, the guys with the small shrunken heads always crack me up. The guys with the shrunken heads reminds me of Beetlejuice. So again, I don't know precisely what he was talking about at the time, but they drink people's blood, huh? I'm wondering if some people will be able to verify that. Oh, okay. Wait, there was something here. Okay. King of the Earth said, because I saw something later in the chat, and this will tie it back. King of the Earth said, if you don't pay attention to the high priest of Jerusalem, the man who crucified Jesus, the king of the Jews, that just shows rebellion to the authority of the rank of high priest. I am a rebel to some degree. I do rebel against certain things that our sages said, let's say, and strict halacha. So definitely I am a rebel, but I'm, as to quote Bob Marley, a soul rebel. It's not simply rebelling for the sake of rebelling. It's rebelling as I perceive it, and I might be wrong, that this is truly the path that I need to be taking right now. And I never deny that I might find my home again in proper orthodoxy, strict halacha. And time will tell. Time will tell. And he continues and says, that invalidates you, King of the Earth says, it invalidates you as a Jew. You can no longer be a Hebrew, nor can you be a Nazarene or a Nazarite. Like I said, I wasn't born in Nazareth, and I don't reside in Nazareth, so I'm not a Nazarene. That makes you persona non grata in the kingdom of Israel, for rejection of the eternal king. But see, once again, this is where I disagree with Christians and followers of Jesus who say that he is king, and that is on the level of God. That's where we simply disagree. But I completely understand Christians and followers of Jesus that intimate this very idea of me being invalidated, and me being a blasphemer, and me being somebody who has been rejected, and the church of Satan, and a fake Jew, a fake Israelite, but whatever they want to say. I get it. I dig it. I don't agree, but I understand why that would be. I understand why that would be something that would cross your mind. So no hard feelings. Jacob the Jew said, you missed my comments. So I hope at the time I did go back and read them, because I do remember reading this particular comment last week. Yes, I did. He quoted Rabbi Chelbo, and I did. That's right. So Nezer said to King of the Earth, may your every offered blessing be returned in thrice, to be forgiven, to be regiven twice more. Ah, you missed mine too, said Royalty. Well, I read them now. It's a week too late. I don't know if Royalty is here, or if he will ever read this, or listen to this, or view this. But I wanted to go back to Monday, and now I will go back, and I will X out of that tab. Boom! And here I am, joining you once again. I'm on for 34 minutes, give or take. 8 people watching right now, 3 likes, and I feel so blessed, so honored, so grateful to be able to go live and be here with you and jive with you, and I have some Q&A from Jerusalem. I do love it so much. Robert Harrison says, Mount Hermon, it's with an O, Hermon, also called Snil. And it has a couple of other names. The source of the Jordan, yes indeed. Dabida? No, it's David. Is it David or David? David? How's it going, brother? Oi. It's going very, very well. And how are you? Okay. Ariel says, we had a massive flood in Spain recently. From what I gathered, just wondering if this ever happens in Eretz Israel in your lifetime on a smaller scale as we are in a similar climate. Yes, it does. It happens in Southern Tel Aviv, I know sometimes it floods, and in the plains it floods towards southeast. And in the south, the Negev itself, if I'm not mistaken, no, not the Negev is a desert, but certain areas in the Judean desert and in that area, and sometimes even in the lower Negev desert or in the surrounding areas, there is risk of flooding, and flooding does occur. So yes. He continues and says, Ariel says, water tends to run off the soil surface here instead of sinking in. I mean, I'm assuming it has to do with the type of soil. Absorbs water very slowly and builds up quickly in the valleys. Voila. 4 likes. Oh, I see 3 over here. But I think there should be many more. Thank you, Stilmy. I appreciate the vote of confidence. So it's David. Okay. Now it's written a little differently. Is that an accent over the A? Or it's something over the A. So in what language is it written, David? I'm curious. There you go. It's Gaelic Scottish. Now, I know that there are people who still speak it, read and write it fluently in Scotland. Did it ever take root in other areas in the world? And I'm curious about that that Celtic connection. Let's put it this way. Did the Celts speak Gaelic? Is there a connection there? Was that the original tongue of the land? Or original to however far you go back. Here's to feeling good all the time, says Robert. Yeah, the accountant. What an episode. Seek Truth says, we're having tornadoes and flash flooding in Oklahoma today. I live on the high ground, so I only have to worry about the tornadoes. Anti-M! Anti-M! I hope you're safe and sound, Seek Truth. I hope that y'all in Oklahoma survive this tornado. Is it tornado season? Is there a season, or is it just all year round tornadoes in Oklahoma? And tell me, what kind of warning do you get? Is it an air raid siren? Is it a different type of audio cue? How are you? If there is, I'm assuming there is a warning, a tornado warning, as it nears certain populated areas. So I'd love to know, people out there. Whatever natural disaster, whenever it occurs, what is your audio cue? Bloodnose says, I'm not going to feel good all the time in this world. I'm looking forward to the next. Well, there's the line in the Psalm, right, in Shir HaMa'alot, Az Yimales Chok Binu, then we will fill our mouth with mirth, or laughter, and our tongue with mirth, or with our tongue with song, right? Then we will fill our mouth with laughter and our tongue with song. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who the Zohar is attributed to, and who is a major Second Temple era player, and sage and a Kabbalist, and he said that it says, then our mouth will be filled with laughter and our tongue with song, meaning that while we are here in this world, before we partake of the fruit of the tree of life, while we are still here in a world of good and evil, do not fill your mouth with laughter. Know that it has a time, and even then, don't fill your mouth. Give it its proper place, but don't fill your mouth with laughter. Now I get that, and yet, even so, speaking of rebelling against the sages, I say that for certain people that may definitely be the case. There's good laughter and there's bad laughter, let's say. There's being, there's making a joke and there's being a jokester. Not necessarily the same thing, but maybe I digress. To feel good all the time. You're not going to feel good all the time in this world. There's always something. I agree, there's always something, which is also why I'm being mindful when certain things that attain this unimaginable quality of good, that it feels good all the time while you're in it, those things we need to pay so much close attention to the good things that we invite into our lives and to the good things that come at random, precisely because we won't be feeling good all the time. And so to take the time, to take a breath, to notice, to articulate when something good, this is why I love the roses that we have outside the building here. And even during winter and even during autumn, it seems, even though I've only been here a year and a half so far, even during winter, There was always a flower or two that were there. It wasn't completely blossoming and blooming, but one or two that survived the winter months, and it's so lovely. And when I walk the doggy, when I spend time with my kids, these are things that are so fleeting. When I'm doing this right now, there is this, and it's so good that I lose myself in it, and I'm not thinking about the war, and I'm thinking about this and how lovely this is, and how going live from Jerusalem is not something I take for granted. So yeah, you're looking forward to the next, and it is what you will make of it, Blood Nose. That's how I see it. We can have tornadoes all year round, and yes, we have a storm shelter. Good, good. I'm glad. Seek Truth continues and says, I live too far out in the country for air raid sirens, so we have to monitor police communication channels. So you have what, you have a CB radio? A citizens band? Your favorite psalm, asks Robert. Wow. My favorite psalm. Well, it's one of the Song of Ascents, I would say. One of the Songs of Ascent. I don't know. I never had a favorite psalm. Whenever I would be reading the Psalms, I would pick different favorites along the way, and they would change in accordance to my state and my circumstances at the time. And that's part of what's so wonderful about Tehillim, about the Psalms, that there are Psalms that are simply exalting and praising the Most High, and there are some which talk about the inadequacies of the poet and how he wants to feel close to God. There are some when, you're pleading, let not your revelation keep its distance. Come, please, make the first move, because I am unable to do it. And even though I may not be worthy, give me that grace. And there are some that, speak of, there's a psalm for every moment, and there's a psalm for every ailment. But a favorite one, I'm not sure. Seek Truth says 119 is mine. So 119, Kuf Yud Tet, Mizmor Kuf Yud Tet. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Torah Kuf Yud Tet from Likutei Moharan. What do you think? Wait, now I need to see. Mizmor Kuf Yud Tet. Is it one of the longer ones? Is it the... Hang on. Is it the Hodu? Ashrei Temimei Derech Haolchim B'Torat Adonai. So wait, that's... Okay, let's just continue here. What do you think, asked Blood Nose, what do you think is the sword rotating every way, separating us from the tree of life? Well, basically, the sword is a weapon. And the fact that it's flaming, I think it's a kind of analogy to how it is that you enter and get to the path of the right tree of life, and the way that it speaks about how you get there and the way that you and how you arrive there. Let's say that's what I think it is. I think that when we do arrive there at the path of the tree of life and we merit the fruit, then, like I've said many times, the sword will be one that we can hold on to. The fire will be something that we integrate. Because, how shall I put it? Fire is associated with the left, with Gevurah, with Din. Its origins are very high and mighty, and I'm really trying to put it in a way that's understandable, if what I think the sword is. I think it speaks to how we are supposed to live life, right? To grab life, right? And to ascend higher like the fire. I think the way that we arrive at the path of the tree of life that was put under guard but never forbidden is by taking on that weapon, if you will, right, of Torah and covenants and commandment. The sword also appears in a different place in the Torah as a sword of vengeance, a sword of vengeance pertaining to the covenant, right? That was broken, that needs to be upheld. It speaks to me about that, about the fact that it's a weapon, but it can also be something which empowers you. And it's flaming, right? It's that element of fire that's always rising higher. And it's associated, right? It's a flaming sword. The sword has to do also with wrath and vengeance and limitation and din, right? And anger and the left hand. Both of those things have to do with the left hand. And the left hand, right? And that's also that's when death comes into the picture, when there's the duality of life and death. As opposed to the fruit of the tree of life, when we will partake it won't be life as opposed to death, death as opposed to life. It's a different kind of reality altogether. So what I mean to say is that what is partly guarding the path to the tree of life and to its fruit is that very thing that will later be taken away from the world, that flaming sword, the fire and war and death, that will be taken away, and then we will. But it's, ironically perhaps, also how we get there. We need to simply hold on to the right weapon and elevate ourselves like the fire in a proper way. And that's when that sword and those flames won't be a deterring factor. They won't send us away. They won't cut us short or burn us where we stand. It will be a source of empowerment and of energy and of light. And the kuruvim, from guards, they will become guides. That's how, and so all of the different elements there will be guiding us there. And that is also how we get there. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Ariel says, you ever bumped into my cousin in Oklahoma, Seek Truth? He does not speak any English, unfortunately. Big guy, covered in fur from head to toe, and is a bit of a hippie, walks around everywhere barefooted. I've seen people do that. Never did it myself, everywhere. Did it in certain places for certain times, but not everywhere. And with no clothes on, usually hangs out in mountainous forests. So your cousin in Oklahoma covers himself in fur from head to toe. He's a bit of a hippie? All right. You can purchase a Bigfoot hunting license here in Oklahoma. I thought that's what he was going for, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to say Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Never seen one, but I have seen mountain lions and bears. They call Psalm 23 the anti-anxiety chapter, says Robert Harrison. Voila. David says, yes, it's our native language, but I think it derives from older language we used before we got here, one of the languages with the guttural sound. Cool. Robert says, the vision the prophet Ezekiel had by the river Kava was awesome. Yeah, the Merkava. It says in the Midrash that a handmaid on the sea, at the Reed Sea, right, the Red Sea as it was parting, a handmaid at the shores of the Reed Sea saw what even Ezekiel the prophet didn't see on the river Kava. That idea of the sky opening up and being, well, and seeing the sights of God, Mav'ot Elohim, visions of Elohim. It's something so personal. And in order to write it down in a book that was later canonized by our sages in a way where it will mean something to us, it's something that I think to be there and experience it is very different from reading it. And I wonder, Ezekiel is one of the only prophets who received prophecy not on the land of Israel, or Canaan. And he's one of the only ones. The things that he went through, man, wow. Okay. Was awesome, says Robert. Indeed. Bloodnose says there is truth in hearing someone talk about the mysteries. There is truth in hearing someone talk about the mysteries. There is truth in hearing someone talk about the mysteries. I'm wondering what you mean by that, Bloodnose. Do you mean that there is truth in something even if the speaker does not speak truth? Which mysteries did I mention? Certain mysteries? Speaking of mysteries, I would love, I mentioned this before, the, what is it called? The Eleusinian mysteries? I would have loved to know more about that and what it was like to go to one of those. I mean, probably as a Hebrew man, I wouldn't go there. Probably some, pagan worship and whatnot, and Greek gods and all that. But if I was not a Hebrew man and I was Greek at the time and a follower of the gods, oh man, would I love to go there. I think that was a trip and a half. Robert says, have you heard? I don't know if it's true. Plant-based be bad? What? Plant-based bad? Not sure what you mean, man. I ponder that most the visions in the Old Testament was by river. You think, I mean, it makes some sense that things would be by a river, but most of the prophecies, most of the visions in the Old Testament were by a river. That's a curious thing. I wonder if that's true. I know that kings, maybe of Judah and not of Israel, maybe both Judah and Israel, were traditionally anointed by a river. Hey, that's it for the chat, and it's been almost an hour. I think it's a good time to say goodbye. I will continue this, God willing, on Wednesday. There won't be, I think, a chat to continue. However, I think I will go back to like a month ago where there was a bunch of the chat that I missed. If somebody knows which one it was, I don't know if any of you know offhand which ones. I think it was about a month ago. How long you've been vowed Nazarite? How long have I been? This is my 14th year since I took my vow. So 13 years ago and some months, something like that. God willing, I hope to go to my grave still under this vow. So I will see you on Wednesday for more chat, more Q&A live from Jerusalem. Thank you, each and every one of you, those watching now, those watching later, every like, every sub, every view, every comment, every contribution, every illumination, every elucidation, every, engagement here. I cherish it. I love it. It's so nice. It's so cool. It's so lovely to be here and do this with you guys raw, live from Jerusalem. I deeply appreciate your time and your kind attention and your contributions. I don't take any of it for granted that I can just sit here and blah, 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 and I'm talking to you people and we're having a connection and it's awesome. Let's hope for good things. Boom, baby. Good night from Jerusalem.